Good morning. Welcome to Fitness Friday. Rona, your balance coach here. Today I thought I would talk to you a little bit and share a couple of stretches, good stretches for our hamstrings. So our hamstrings attach from our butt, they go down toward the knee, and one of their jobs is to bring the foot to the bum when we walk and to create this action. Now for a lot of people, it used to be me too, sitting all day long or not stretching correctly, our hamstrings would get very, very tight. And one of the things that would happen when our hamstrings get tight is that it can actually pull our pelvis into this pelvic tilt and pull downward. And then we have a really hard time creating length in the legs. So I want to give you a couple of tips. One of the things that I used to do as well, and I thought it was a stretch for the hamstrings, was coming into a position where my foot was forward, hinging, and then pushing back. Well, we are creating length here, but the body is working to keep us in this position. And when we are truly in a stretch position, we want the body to relax. Okay, so this is okay. This is lengthening, but just make sure that you understand that we're not actually stretching. The body is still working to hold you in this position. The same as in yoga, when we go into a forward fold, when we go into this position, we're feeling work. Absolutely, we're feeling work. The hamstrings are working, they're creating length, but they're not relaxed to let go. Okay, so their job is to stop us from falling on our face. One of them is. So in this position, we're creating length, but we're not creating a pure stretch. Okay, so I used to have really, really super tight hamstrings. Very, very tight. I couldn't even touch my toes, and that was one thing as a kid I always wanted to do, and I finally was able to do it when I was about 36 years old. One of the exercises that helped me create length in my hamstrings was, I call the lazy stretch. And what we do is we take our feet wide. We want to make sure that we're hinging at the hips, and we come down and we place our elbows above the knees just to support the hamstrings and to support the body. And from this position, we just tip. So with summer coming now, and we're all going to be outside and we're all getting our shots, we're going to be exercising more, we're going to be having more fun in the sun. And unless we do our work, our body's going to get pretty tight. So this is a fabulous way to create, like, this hair just doesn't want to listen to me today. Good morning, Kasia. This is a great way to create length in the backs of your legs, in those hamstrings. And they love this. And as you warm them up, you can start to hold longer. You're going to feel that length. We're still supporting them by having our elbows above our knees. And when I was working diligently on getting my hamstrings lengthened, I would probably do this 3-4 times a day. So if you're a runner, or you're a walker, or a cyclist, really important thing to do for those hamstrings. This is actually a really great way to warm them up before you do your exercising. Okay, so what is a true hamstring stretch? Well, I'm going to give you two. And we're going to use this chair, and we're going to pretend this is a wall, because this is all I have outside. So one of the truest hamstring stretches is just sitting. Now, if you have really tight hamstrings, what's going to happen is as you sit down, you're going to come into this position. So now we've rolled off our sits bones, those bony bits in our bum. We've rolled off of them, and now we're not doing anything here. So what we need to make sure is that we are sitting tall on our sits bones, and then the legs are straight. Now, if you have tight hamstrings, your knees are going to bend, and that is perfectly okay. You can shove something underneath the knees, or you can sit on a cushion. Make sure you're sitting at the front of the cushion, not at the back, because then you're still going to create this. And then we're going to hinge from the hips. So in past posts, I talked about squatting and where we need to hinge from. We're going to place our fingers right on our hips there. I'm just going to walk my bum back a bit. We're going to flex our feet, so toes to nose. And then from here, we're going to squish those fingers. Oh, and when you feel something right away, we're going to stop. So I'm not coming from here to here because I've missed the opportunity of stretching my legs. I'm going to start here, and then I'm going to slowly hinge forward. Now I feel something already here. Feel it in the belly of the muscle and a little bit higher. So I'm going to stop, and I'm going to rest, and I'm going to wait for the muscles to let go, for you to not feel anything. And then when I feel that, I'm going to walk forward a little bit more. And I'm going to stop when I feel my next set of resistance. When that lets go, we can go forward, and we can go forward, and we can go forward. You always want to make sure that you're hinging at the hips. You stay in neutral, so that natural curve of our back, we don't want to be rounded. We want to make sure that the pelvis tips. Now, some of you have an amazing range of motion that you can actually almost put your face on the floor. Not me. I have worked so hard for the last 30 years to get this. Yes, but I haven't. And now when I hinge forward, I can feel a stretch all the way up the backs of my legs. I'm also feeling a stretch behind the knee. Just know that the tendons of the hamstrings are there. That's just another little muscle group in there that you're getting length. Okay, so then the other one is legs up the wall. This is a brilliant yoga pose. This is wonderful to not only release your legs, but if your brain does not want to shut off, this is the perfect thing to do, because when your head is below your heart, the brain starts to slow down. Okay, so how do we get up the wall? Again, we want to make sure that when we're down, our spine is in neutral, so we have the lower back off the floor. And if you were to have a cup of tea, you could put it on your pelvis and it wouldn't spill towards your belly. Okay, so we get right against the wall, and then we roll down, bring our legs up the wall. Whoop, whoop. Pretend this is my wall. So here are my legs. Now my lower back is off the floor. My pelvis is in a position I could put a cup of tea here, and then I rest. And what's happening is the blood flow is coming down, and the hamstrings get a natural stretch. You are completely rested. Great way to start to stretch inner thighs. You can also do this against a door jam, and you take your other leg, and you take your other leg. Let me go to the edge and pretend this is my door. I've got my door here, and I take my other leg straight right into the door opening, and that gives me a really great stretch. And then you can do that the other side. So, hope that's helped. You get a little bit of length in those hamstrings. Wishing you a fabulous day. Go out there and have some fun. Here in BC, Canada, we have our May long weekend, so we get a long weekend, which is awesome. If you're not here and you're somewhere else in the world, just enjoy your day and spread your happiness with everyone you meet. You never know whose life you're going to change today. Have a great one. I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.